well, yeah, she probably with that Scorpio dude, and she was telling me about how they had sex and the condom had fell off. What's up, y'all? It's your girl LAYB, and I'm back with another story time. Another motherfucking story time on Fat Girl TV. Okay, so y'all know the drill. If you guys are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell so you get post notifications whenever I post. Y'all, as y'all can tell by that title, I'm gonna be doing a story time in probably one of the most dreaded story times in the history of Life is LAYB on Fat Girl TV. Probably the most dreaded story time that I will probably ever do. I am trying to brace myself, you guys, because this day probably had to be the most embarrassing, most craziest day of my life. Okay, first things first, as y'all can tell by that title, this is the story time on how my parents found out that I lost my virginity, y'all. This is how my parents found out I was out here getting frisky. Okay, like any other story time that I do, I'm gonna give a little background. I'm gonna tell y'all basically like the characters in the story time, and then I'm basically going to start from the beginning and lead y'all up how my parents found out that I had lost my V card. Characters. So in this story time, and I want you guys to keep up because two characters in this story time have the same name, but it's not the same person. And if you guys have watched my previous story times or my previous videos and you've been following me for a little minute, you guys will know the difference between the two, okay? Scorpio 1 and Scorpio 2. Scorpio 1 is the Scorpio that I was the secret side chick with. So if you guys have not went to go watch that video, please go watch that video of how I was the secret side chick. So Scorpio 1, that's Scorpio 1. Scorpio 2 is the Scorpio that I had met at a bar. Okay, so Scorpio 1 and Scorpio 2 is in this story time. Another person that's in the story time obviously is my parents, my mom, my dad, my auntie, which is my dad's sister, my cousin Kay. He was also in previous story times. My last story time that I just did when I pulled up to find my ex-girlfriend, that Kay, yep, that's my cousin. And then two other cousins of mine. They don't really have like a big part in the story time, but I'm just letting you guys know all of the characters, okay? Okay, story time on how my parents found out I lost my V card. Let's go. We're gonna start from the night before. The night before plays a big role because the night before ties into the next day when everything went on. So the night before, I went out drinking with Kay. Me and Kay, we got split, y'all. Like when I said we literally got split, we got split. And so I, you know, had a little too much to drink, and y'all know, like when you get drunk, and you know what I'm saying, you want to call your favorite dude that you call when you feel me, when you feeling it. And in my case, that was Scorpio 1. So I called Scorpio 1. Basically, like, y'all, I probably was running my mouth, and I know how I get, you feel me, when I get drunk. So I probably was talking crazy to him, but really I just wanted to see him. So I called Scorpio, like, where is you at? Where is you at? I need that. Like, hashtag need that. Do I need that? I need that. Like, right now. I need that right now. So I called Scorpio 1, like, you feel me? I need that, whatever. Scorpio 1 was not feeling it. He was like, you drunk, you know, I'm not really trying to, he wasn't on what I was on that night. Like, he was hashtag not feeling it. And at this time he said like he was sick. He had been sick. He had a headache all day. He was not feeling it. Okay, y'all know me. I literally, when a person, I don't see I'm a little delulu. So when a dude tells me don't do this, I tend to do the opposite. So I told him I wanted to see him. He told me not to pull up to his house, and I pulled up to his house anyway. So I pull up to this man's house, And mind y'all, I have Kay in the car with me. So, you know, we pull up to this man's house. So I hop out the car, y'all. And when I say this man, oh my gosh. Or so I'm on the phone with him while I'm on my way to this man's house. So I'm like, no, I'm about to pull up. I swear, I'm about to pull up right now, right now, right now. Y'all, I started counting down. I'm like, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. I'm outside, I'm about to come. So at the time, his son and his mom was living with him, and he had a dog. So I'm like, you know, if you don't let me in, if you don't come out here and talk to me, I'm gonna come and knock on your door, and I'm gonna come in there and like, stop playing with me. Why you being weird to me? So he was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe you put up to my house, basically. Woo. So I put up to this house, I hop out the car, y'all, no shoes on, no nothing, y'all. I was looking a flat out mess, like so embarrassing. Anyways, y'all, got out the car looking a flat out mess. So when I hop out the car, whatever, I go to him and literally pin him to the corner. Like at the time, he was living in like these, like, it's kind of like an apartment building. So when he came out like the back door of his apartment building and like kind of like met me at the back door before I could go into the building. And so when I went up there, I like pinned him in the corner, y'all. I was pulling on his shirt. I ripped his shirt. It was just like a whole bunch of delusional stuff going on. So he was not feeling it. Like he wasn't even going off because he's just like, I'm sick. I don't got time for this right now. And like in the moment, I'm feeling like, okay, like you're not showing me that you love me. Like, you know, I'm delusional. At the time, like around this time, by this time, I was messing with Scorpio number 1. So me and Scorpio number 1 was intimate with each other. This was after I lost my virginity. Scorpio number 1 was my second body. So Scorpio number 1, y'all, I'm just give y'all a little background real quick. Scorpio number 1 was basically helping me get over Damon. Damon is the dude that took my virginity. So Scorpio number 1 was like that guy, you know, that guy that comes right after the heartbreak and he's kind of like healing you and breaking you at the same time because it's like you're not quite healed from that last situation. This is kind of like how it was. Scorpio 1 basically came right after Damon when I lost my virginity. So I was still kind of like, you know, hurting off of that situation. And Scorpio 1 was kind of like basically there. And me and Scorpio 1 was intimate around this time when I pulled up on him. So boom, fast forward. So Scorpio 1 ended up basically telling me like I was embarrassing myself. I needed to leave his house. You know, he did not want anything else to do with me from that night forward. And I just needed to go on about my business. Now, saying that to a girl that was already going through a heartbreak and, you know, broken, I took it very hard. So I ended up leaving his house. I left. Kay was in the car waiting on me. Kay was just watching the show. At this point, this is like a TV show to him. So he was just basically just watching the show while I was out there losing my mind. So I ended up leaving Scorpio's house and I ended up going to the gas station. And basically, like, I just broke down about the situation, like, because I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you feel me? Like, I'm feeling some type of way. Why is he not, you know what I'm saying? Why is he not babying me? Why is he not holding me? Why is he acting like he's so irritated by me? You know, like, why you being weird to me? Like, that's how I felt. Like, why is he being weird to me? Y'all, I ended up calling my dad. I don't know why in the freaking world, in this world or the next one, that I would call that man, but I called my dad. Literally. So I basically was calling my dad like, I should have listened. I shouldn't have talked to these boys. I should have, like, the whole 9 yards, y'all. I'm literally crying on my dad's phone. My dad was like, I think he was at like a party. My dad was somewhere the night before. Like, he was out with friends and stuff, having a good time. And like, his daughter calls him crying. He like, what's going on? What's going on? So I'm like, I should have listened. I shouldn't have talked to these guys out here. And my dad was like, what? Where are you at? And why are you crying? So y'all, I ended up hanging up the phone. So I ended up hanging up the phone, y'all, and that was the last time I talked to my dad. Then after that, my cousin my boy cousin, we're gonna call him S. My boy cousin S ended up calling me, and I think it was because my dad probably called him to try to figure out was I with him or his sister, to try to figure out what's going on. And so I was just like, I didn't answer. So I stopped answering everybody's calls from that point on. So at this point, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, you know what, Scorpio 1, I'm moving on with my life, I'm done. So I ended up calling Scorpio 2. So I'm like, you know, call up Scorpio 2, like, what you doing? I had, mind you, I did not put in the story time. I had seen Scorpio 2 we had went to like a few bars before I ended up at Scorpio 1's house. So I hit up Scorpio 2, like, you still want me to slide through? Because when I had seen Scorpio 2 at one of the bars, he had told me he wanted me to slide to his house, whatever. So I'm like, I ended up calling Scorpio 2 after all of this transpiring. I'm like, you want me to slide through? Whatever. So he like, yeah. And so I put up with the quickness. Okay, on that north side, period. So y'all, north side, I ended up pulling up to the north side, went to go see Scorpio 2. And mind y'all, I still had K with me, and I low-key forgot I had K with me. I did ask K before I went in. I'm like, K, Scorpio 2 said he don't care if you come up. You know what I'm saying? Mind y'all, Scorpio 2 lives above his family's bar. So he lives upstairs. The bar is like downstairs where I met him at. So it's like kind of like, the bar is kind of like a house, but they made like the downstairs the bar, and then there's like a whole house upstairs. So I tell Kay, I'm like, you know, Scorpio 2 said that you can come in and you can have a few drinks, and you know, we just gonna be chilling. So Kay said he would just sit in the car. So I told Kay, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be back. Boom. So I go in Scorpio 2's house. At this point, when I first go in, we sitting in the bar. He's making me drink some type of drinks. I kid y'all not, I needed no more drinks from beyond that point. I needed no more drinks, but I kept drinking, you know. I kept drinking because I'm a gremlin. So drinking. So mind you, Scorpio 2 is drunk, I'm drunk. So we ended up going upstairs to his house. And when we went up there, y'all, it's just like, we just like had kissed for a second, and we just like passed out. We never had sex. We never did like anything frisky that night. It was just, we went upstairs, we were so drunk, we just passed out basically. And we were like cuddled up. I just, you know, yeah. The next day, I'm still asleep at Scorpio 2's house. I did not even wake up. Mind y'all, we're asleep. It's the next day. My phone dies overnight while I'm at his house. So anybody that was calling me, trying to contact me, it was not coming through because my phone was dead. And I'm laying upstairs, sleep comfortably next to this man. So this is how the part come about. While I'm asleep upstairs, I guess my dad was calling me all night. My dad called my auntie to call me. My dad called my mama. Everybody got called. My cousin S, the boy S and the girl S, their brother and sister, they were called. S's mom was called. Kay was still downstairs worried. Kay worried because like, Kay like, okay, you know, I didn't come back downstairs. I'm not answering my phone. I'm not even active on Facebook no more. So all of my parents ended up getting caught. So I don't know if they ended up contacting Kay or Kay ended up contacting them. And everybody is trying to basically figure out where am I at. So Kay was like, you know, she went upstairs. She got to be upstairs. I didn't see her come back out. My parents and my auntie, everybody, they put in a missing report for me. They called the police and everything. So my dad and my auntie, I guess my dad and my auntie went to go pick up Kay, which was, my car was still parked in front of Scorpio 2 house. So they went to go pick up Kay, put him in a car. They drove off and went to my mama's house, wake my mama up and tell my mom basically like, Alasia is missing. She has not been on Facebook. It's so-and-so o'clock. Mind y'all, this happened on Mother's Day. So just imagine being my mama. You getting woken up on Mother's Day that your child is missing. So anyways, my mom had like a Ring camera footage and I got to watch it. And my auntie, she was crying. She was hysterical. Everybody thinks that I'm missing at this point. Right? So my mom has my location on her phone. They were trying to track my location to see if I ever left the bar or did I ever leave from where I was at. the location kept saying that my location was moving, which was weird because my phone was with me and it was dead. I don't get how my location could even been moving. But anyways, so they ended up coming back to the bar. They called the police to the bar, and my dad was basically telling the police, like, can y'all go in and go see if she's in there? And the police was basically like, we can't go into anywhere unless we have a warrant, or like it has to be like a reason for them to enter without permission, basically. So my dad was like, well, I'm about to go in there because my daughter can be in there. I don't know what's going on. Like, y'all gonna go in there and get her, or I'm gonna go in there and get my daughter. It was just like a whole big old thing. So the police outside, everybody outside, like everybody, my dad going off at this point. My mom is like going off at this point. My auntie hysterical. Kay, everybody's confused. So at this point, S and S mama end up pulling up. Mind you, I'm still upstairs asleep. So they end up contacting Scorpio 2's mom, which actually owns the bar. So they end up calling her. They end up having her get the keys, unlock the door, and she also has a key to Scorpio 2's house. So Scorpio 2's mom ends up coming in. Mind y'all, they also said that they had actually came in the bar because Scorpio 2 had left the bar doors open downstairs, which you have to go through the bar to get into his house. So Scorpio 2 had ended up leaving. Scorpio 2 had left the bar doors downstairs open, and so I guess they had came into the bar and it was banging on Scorpio 2's door. Now mind y'all, I didn't hear it, Scorpio 2 didn't hear it. Like I said, we was not completely out. We did not hear them banging, knocking, or anything, but they said that they was knocking on the door and everything, and we was not answering. So that's why everybody really got worried, because they're like, okay, they're not even answering this door. How can she be up here and nobody's answering the door? So they ended up calling Scorpio 2's mom. Boom. Scorpio 2's mom ended up coming, and Scorpio 2's mom was really pissed because he had left the bar doors open. Mind you, I told you, me and Scorpio 2 was very late. We was very drunk. He probably forgot to lock the door. So Scorpio 2's mom unlocks the door. She comes up to his apartment, and me and him are asleep on the couch, half naked. So she wakes us up and she's like, hey, you need to go downstairs right now. All of your family is outside. You need to go downstairs right now. Police have been called. They think that you're missing. You need to go downstairs right now. I wake up like, what the are you talking about? So in my head, I'm like, all I was thinking was, please don't let my dad be downstairs. Sure and behold, I look on his cameras and my dad's car is parked directly outside. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not happening right now. So woke up, I'm like, yep, reality check. So I end up getting up, putting on my clothes. I go downstairs. Mind y'all, I did not even know that there had been conversations about everything prior to me even coming downstairs. So Kay ended up telling me that when I finally go downstairs and everything, Kay ends up telling me that my TT, because my dad had told my auntie that I had called his phone the night before and I was crying, so that's what really made him worried. And then so my auntie was like, well, yeah, she probably with that Scorpio dude, and she was telling me about how they had had sex and the condom had fell off. My dad was like, condom? What condom? Who? What condom? Who using condoms? Who getting frisky? Who? My dad is confused. So my dad like, condoms? This conversation happened while they were looking for me. Mind y'all, when I left out of Scorpio 2's house, I go downstairs. I come from the back where everybody's at. The police is there. My mom and dad's out there. My auntie's out there. Kay's out there. S and S's mom's out there. And soon as I walk out of his gate, my bun falls off. And the way that I look like I was doing something frisky. Even though I told y'all me and him never did anything, the information that my dad was giving me, he probably thought otherwise. So I go out there and the police was just, looking at me. They asked for my name and they just got like a little information from me. And I'm like, I don't get why the police was called. I don't get what's going on. I'm like, I still have a hangover. I'm like, what are you guys doing here? My dad literally just walked away. He just walked away. It just seemed like he was so disappointed and just like over it. My dad was just like, he just walked away. My auntie is just like going off like, girl, what are you doing? We've been looking for you. My mom limping, y'all. And everybody is looking at me. Everybody is upset. Like, everybody is upset. Like, everybody really thought I was missing. I'm finding out it was a missing report put in for me. And it was just like so much going on. So I'm like, I'm fine. And so my mom ends up coming and is like, so when did you start having sex? Why are you on the north side with this nigga? And this, that, and the other. So my mom just started going off. Scorpio's mom is still there. Scorpio comes out. He locks his gate up. Scorpio too just goes back in the house. And yeah, and also I came outside and my car was gone. And I'm like, where's my car? So I guess my dad had went to go park my car at his house and he took my keys. Like, he was just over it. So I was just like, yo, I was so confused. I had left with my mom and I was just like, this is crazy. My mom had a long talk with me. Like, I didn't know you were out here having sex. I didn't know that you were sexually active. So my mom was just like shocked. So basically that let me know that my dad already had knew that I was having sex. And he ended up having a separate conversation with me and was like, have you looked into getting on birth control? Like, you know, you need to be out here protecting yourself, woo. So they both ended up having a conversation with me and it was just like so embarrassing. And it was so like, I was just thinking like, TT, why would you do that? But yeah, y'all, that was a time. Y'all, that's basically how my parents found out that I was having sex. If you guys have more questions regarding this story time, please feel free to comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe on this video, and hit that bell so you can get post notifications whenever I post. I love every single one of y'all, and I hope all my big women remember, if they not hating you, you're not slaying. Let's keep running it up. And until next time, never go missing from your family. And that's just that, period. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all.
You know you that bitch when you cause all this conversation. Always stay gracious. Best revenge is your paper.